Recording. All right, perfect. All right, now I'm ready. Good morning, everybody. I'm Kevin Lauren, Director of Trading and Marketing. And today we're going to go over SEO for real estate agents. So this is a very confusing topic for most, and I get the question all the time from our agents. So I just want to make sure that we go over this and make sure everybody understands what is important when we talk about Realtor SEO, when we talk about SEO for real estate. So really a germane topic. Before we get into today's presentation, I'm going to bring Bill Seitz, our corporate broker, on the line. Good morning, Bill. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. How are you, Kevin?
I'm doing good.
Good to see you yesterday. That was a good meeting.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to be in the corporate office with the with all you guys. Yeah, and we have a lot of new agents on the line. We've got a lot of new hires, so we're really excited to have you guys on the line as well. Eddie Espina and Camille and a lot of new agents, and then of course all of our regulars. So welcome back for all of our regulars. And we do want to also bring on Cameron Alley from Clearview Mortgage. Let's bring on Cameron. Good morning, Cameron. How are you doing today, buddy?
Good. How are you, Kevin?
I'm doing fantastic.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And I'm going to promote you to panelist.
Perfect. Let's get this thing going.
All right. All right, you have been promoted, my friend. And of course, you have to unmute yourself.
Got it. Okay.
All right. Rocking and rolling, buddy.
Yep, we got quite a bit to talk about today. I'm going to try and make it as quick as possible, as always. So let me just share my screen real quick. Man, I had my video set up. It's not letting me do it, but that's okay. Maybe next week everyone can see me.
We'll get licked next week.
Yep. All right. So can everyone see?
Absolutely.
All right. Perfect. So 10-year Treasury, the last 2 days before today were actually the worst days in the 10-year Treasury since the beginning of, basically since it started. We were up about 20 basis points 2 days in a row, which is really unprecedented. But today we're down 20 basis points. So usually the way these things work, just like with stocks, there's certain thresholds that the bond market has. Like we were sitting at 2 really hard for a while. We were sitting at 3, about 2.8, and every time it hit 3, it'd come down. And then with that most latest rate increase, the 10-year Treasury went above 4, and obviously it hit that ceiling and came crashing back down. So that is good news. Sorry,
real quick, Cameron. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I think you need to share a different screen that just shows the. Are you trying to just show us the 10-year Treasury?
Oh yeah. Is it the other one? Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Oops.
Just got your notes there. That's all.
Open this. Sorry, guys.
No worries, buddy.
Why is not? Let me do this. Okay, let me just stop sharing real quick.
Yeah, no worries.
Kevin, you could even pop it up for temporarily.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not letting me. It's like Zoom's glitching today. Usually it lets me.
I hear you, buddy. No worries. Let me pull that up for you.
All right.
So I've always got it pretty darn handy, since I have to look at it all the time as well.
Okay, hold on. Actually, I think I got it now.
Okay.
All right, here we go. All right, we're good, guys. All right, so anyways, 10-year Treasury down 20 basis points today, which is good news. I think that most likely, I don't think we are going to stick around for, at least not right now. I think that it's not time for that. Maybe, if they bring up rates again next time, we could shoot up above 4. But if you look at this, today, the yield day high, 4.019, right? So basically right when we hit that 4%, we came back down to 3.7. So there is a ceiling there. And then also too, I wanted to show basically the Dow Jones right now, it went below 30,000. I think it was on Monday that it went below 30,000. And that was obviously a pretty significant, I think the high was about 37,000, about, what was it, 11 or 12 months ago. But my prediction here, and this is pretty much just my prediction. So, there's no one really necessarily saying this, but let's say the Dow hits below 26,000, which is a real possibility. I think we're really going to start seeing bonds respond to that. And just like I was talking about last week, how the Fed doesn't really control mortgage rates. Same thing. If the Dow goes down to 26,000, people are going to start buying bonds. I go through this pretty much every week, and there will be a chance that we could see some softening on the rates, which obviously would be great for us. So keep your eye on that. It's always good to watch the market so you know what's kind of going on. So always 10-year Treasury, Dow Jones, that kind of helps you know where rates are and where rates are going. So last week, I don't know, hopefully everyone remembers, I was talking about that new home, the sales price softening. Well, this week, bam, here's the news: new home sales skyrocket, but it's unsustainable. And here's why. That's obviously just, they're saying because there's not enough of them that it's not sustainable. But they went up a whopping 28.8% from last month, new home sales. So make sure if you have clients that are looking at, buying pre-existings, or maybe we're interested in home sales, go and check out the new homes. There's a chance that the prices did soften significantly. And in fact, it's 100% fact if there was a 28.8% increase from month to month on new home sales. So that's some pretty powerful data. Thought that was really interesting, and it kind of connected with what we talked about last week. So I wanted to share that. And then in July, the S&P Case Chiller Index. This is basically, it shows the market and the stock market. It's basically an index that predicts the housing market based on a lot of different things, like not just home prices. But home prices have definitely officially started to aggressively cool. Every month, this index releases their data. And this basically, the housing market in both July and August, home prices fell 2.3% each month as compared to the same month a year ago. So for example, in August, they went down 2.3% over their increases in August last year. So hopefully that makes sense. But the significant data here is that that's the fastest rate in history of this index. And this index has been around, I think, for 35 years. So definitely 100%. Houses are beginning to soften. You're seeing it. We're seeing it. Now the data is showing us. So, and this is a correction that obviously I think everybody expected. And it's a correction that hopefully with rising rates is going to help, bring more clients your way because the home prices will go down a little bit, which will help the payment. But basically, let's see what's next. So I wanted to touch on this because I saw this and I think that this is obviously really relevant to everybody. Home purchase cancellations above 15% for the second straight month. And within that 15%, what's the largest statistical reason why people got out? Well, of course, it was because they're worried about the payment, right? They called it mortgage payment shock. A whopping 49% of people who canceled their contract was due to the mortgage payment. So once again, I'm going to kind of go over a refresher of that program that we talked about last week and why this data right here shows us exactly why we should be taking advantage of it. Because it's not that people don't want the houses, it's that they get the loan estimates and then they're like, wow, this is crazy, right? So, we want to try to avoid that. We want to try and help you guys have, the seller and buyer both be happy and make sure that hopefully your deals don't fall out of escrow. Anyway, so I also wanted to touch on seller concessions here. I'm sure many of you are probably aware of this, but I wanted to go over this because obviously I think seller concessions is definitely going to have a comeback right now in a softening market. So for any seller concession, the max up to a 10% down payment. So let's say the buyer is putting 5% or 10%, right? The max seller concession is 3%. If the buyer is putting 10% to 25%, the max seller concession is 6%. More than 25%, it's 9%. So that's just good to know so that, if your buyer, your seller is possibly looking at doing a concession to not drop their home price, but maybe help out the buyers with something, it's good to know that so that, we don't overpromise something and then they actually can't do it because of the ratios. And then they end up, not getting the help that they need and being able to, basically make the dreams come true of the buyer, which equals the seller selling the house. So, and then real quick, I wanted to share these flyers. I think that Kevin did send them out, and hopefully everyone got my video I made last week on the 2-1-1-1 buy down. I tried to put as much information in it as I possibly could so that you guys could understand it a little bit more. But I did make these 2 flyers. They're not necessarily very detailed in the numbers. I am working on one of those because I have to make sure that everything's like legit legally, because obviously in the mortgage industry, we have to be really careful with our words because there's, laws in place to make sure that people aren't being misled. But anyway, so I made a flyer for the seller and I made a flyer for the buyer, and Kevin did send those out. So if you have anyone that is interested in it, or you want to just share it with somebody, basically what it does is it just is a short explanation and then has the contact information so that I can answer any questions that they may have if they do want to use that program. And then, Kevin, did you send out this one?
That one, yeah. Well, let's see. I don't know if I did that one.
Let's try and send this one out if we could.
Yeah,
basically,
no,
this just explains it a little more, basically by the numbers. So real quick, I'll do a quick refresher. That 2-1 buy down, there is a 1-1 buy down. I focused on the 2-1 buy down, actually 1-0 buy down. But basically, this option is cheaper for your seller, but the rate is basically 1% lower for 1 year. So there's less seller concession. The buyer does still get a little bit of payment relief for the first year, but then after that, the first year, it goes back to the note rate. So both of these programs are available to you. And I know it's, if you guys literally have any questions, just reach out and I can explain it to you. But we'll make sure that Kevin sends this out because it'll help you. There's even examples of what it would cost and everything. I snipped it and put it into this document. So that is all there for you. And as always, if you have questions, feel free to reach out. We're always here to help. And I will let Bill touch on anything that he wishes to.
No, good stuff as always. I think everyone should be really aware of what the concession amounts are. I think that's super important. We haven't really been in an environment where seller concessions have been, part of the negotiation process. We've always been, last 3-4 years, it's always been over asking this, buyers basically doing whatever it takes to get in the property. The seller has the upper hand. Well, I think the pendulum has now shifted back. And if sellers are really serious about selling their homes with less buyers and a smaller pool of buyers for those properties, you guys that are representing buyers are going to have a lot more ability to be creative with your offers, to negotiate with your offers. And so, when Cameron and I were talking this morning about the concessions, I was like, okay, let's get refreshed here on what the guidelines are for, concessions and financing. But that was really good to touch on that because you got to know what you're able to ask for and what will fly right in the face of the type of financing they're pursuing. So, just be mindful of that. And like Cameron said, if you have any questions, you can reach out to him, reach out to myself. We're always here to help. And
Yeah, basically right now is it's back into the old days where we have to be creative and the salesmanship really comes out. This is it's going to be a little bit harder, but there's still going to be so many transactions out there. It's just being sure that you can offer your buyers or your sellers whatever the best programs are, whatever the best options are, so that they they complete the transaction and send referrals your way. So.
Absolutely, guys. Well, thank you very much for that, Cameron. For those of you that have been listening to Cameron on these webinars for a few months or a year now, you probably do realize that he has some kind of a crystal ball or something, because he is continually correct in his in his synopsis of the market and in his estimations. And so, if I were you guys, I'd listen to what this guy has to say. No, thank you very much, Cameron. Really appreciate it, buddy.
Not a problem. Always a pleasure. Thanks, guys.
All right, perfect. And so we're going to get now into our search engine optimization conversation. So at Realtor SEO, so again, SEO stands for search engine optimization. It sounds almost like voodoo or witchcraft, or, how do you do this? It's kind of the holy grail of, internet marketing. If you can organically be on the first page of Google for these keywords that are most relevant to your business, well, then you've dominated the internet, right? So that's what we're all looking to do. All right, so hold on one second. You're right, Cameron. Zoom is a little glitchy today because I think I can only share, instead of sharing a particular document, looks like I'm gonna have to share the entire screen, which is not that big a deal, but here we go. Oh, and also, quick reminder is the lovely Raquel Bauer is awaiting your phone call to open escrows. Legacy Escrow is open for business, kicking butt, and people are already having a really good experience with Raquel. So don't hesitate to reach out to Raquel at legacyescrowservice.com and 949-200-9305. All right, so now I'm going to share the entire screen here. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. So Realtor search engine optimization, I mean, this is a topic that we could go on for days about. So we're just going to keep it brief, and I just want you guys to understand what is important, because I get the question all the time, and it's something that when you do research or you read about marketing yourself, it always comes up. Oh, you need to do SEO, right? So the good news and bad news is, the good news is you can very, very simply take control of your search engine results for words like your name, realtor, and your name, and your community. So that's the thing that we want to actually start with. Okay, so when you're doing the bad news, then is, of course, trying to be on page 1 on the search engine results for a keyword phrase or keyword terms like Irvine real estate, or Los Angeles real estate. You are not going to get there, okay? Because you're up against literally the biggest money in the world. Real estate, mortgage, finance, all of those things are the most difficult thing to basically do SEO for, and to get to the top of the search results pages. So it's not really something that an individual realtor can just say, starting out, okay, I'm going to make a website and I'm going to get to the front page of the search term Irvine real estate. It's just not going to happen. So what you want to concentrate on, since that's such a radical uphill battle that you'll never get to the top of, let's work on something that you actually can attain. Right? So Realtor search engine optimization needs to be focused on doing things so your name and Realtor come up in the search results first page, and things like the communities within a city that you serve. You have at least a chance to be on the search results pages for a specific community within a city, because that's what we know. That's what we call in the SEO world a long-tailed search term. Okay, so we're going to do a little experiment here. So Charles Barnes is one of our agents, been with us for a long time, about 5 years, and he came to me about 5 years ago and said, what do we do about SEO? And he's one of the agents that I've given the keys to, and he ran with it, and he's done a really good job. So first of all, just notice when you do a Google search for his name and Realtor, this is the kind of stuff that pops up. Okay, so he has optimized his Realtor.com profile. He has a very nice presence on Facebook. So you see, these are the top things that show up. He has a LinkedIn profile. He also has a Homes.com profile. He has a Zillow profile. He has a Nextdoor profile. He also has, other things that you can get in touch with him from. He has his Google business page, right? So he has reviews. He has all these different spots. So he has done a really good job of taking control of the search engine results pages for his name and the word realtor. Now, the other thing that he's done, and so that's just one part of the puzzle, because we all know that, especially if you're referred by somebody, probably the first thing that that person's going to do is to Google your name, find out make sure you're not a criminal, right? Make sure you don't have horrible reviews. He has 7 5-star reviews. What if he had one 1-star review or 7 2-star reviews, right? That's going to tell the person that's Googling your name a little bit of the story. It's not going to tell them the whole story, but it's definitely going to be, something that person that's a prospective client is going to take into consideration when they're considering using you as their realtor. So super important that you do exactly what he has done, and you fill out all, these are business listings and social media pages. So I've got a nice little list that I'll make sure everybody has of the various business directories and listings and things that you can do, most of them for free, to make sure that when somebody Googles your name, these things pop up. Now, why would Realtor.com pop up over, something like, maybe even Nextdoor, or even some of the ones on subsequent pages? Well, each website has what's known as a page rank. And so think of it as importance, right? So Realtor.com has a page rank of, and the page ranks are between 0 and 9. And so Realtor.com probably has a page rank of 6 or 7, which is huge. And so the page rank is one of the things that helps these results pop up. Okay, so there's in these results right here, Google has determined which pages are the most relevant for this search term, right? So that's the way that the search engines work. So the next thing, once you've done that, is it's really important to take advantage of the different places that you do business. So in Charles's case, he is a specialist in a community called Lakeside in Buena Park. So he has done really good search engine optimization, on-page search engine optimization, which means that on a website that he controls, he has put in a lot of content that's very relevant to that search term, Buena Park, OC, Lakeside, homes for sale. So in the search results, let's see who shows up. These are all advertisements, right? So these people are paying Google money to be in these spots. So the first organic search result is Realtor.com. Again, massive page rank. We've got zerodown.com. I'm not sure what that is, but they got in there somehow with their search engine optimization. Zillow is number 3. 4 is our pal, Charles Barnes. So his website is oclakeside.com. It's a private gated lakeside Buena Park homes for sale. See how he has these keywords in the title? So he was able to, with my instruction, he was able to create a page and a website that is very conducive to the search terms lakeside, homes for sale. And really, he's got some content, which is awesome, but it's not even that much content. So let's take a look at the content that has allowed this website to show up in the search results. So he's got in the URL, he's got the title, Lakeside. That's one of the search results, or that's one of the search terms. He's got down here a nice synopsis of what the Lakeside community is about. And so he's mentioning the word Lakeside, the word Buena Park in a nice organic fashion. He's not stuffing keywords into this page and saying Lakeside, 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 homes for sale, homes for sale. Google knows all about that these days, and they ding the heck out of you. In fact, they'll de-index your page, and you will not show up on the search results. So the next thing that he's done, and this is a really great search engine optimization technique, is he has embedded a YouTube video into his page. So the great thing about using YouTube videos is Google owns YouTube. So they love when you use their stuff, and they will go ahead and they will boost your search engine optimization or your search results to see exactly how you can do that. And I've got a quick question from Ken. Ken, I know I'm having a little bit of trouble with my screen sharing today, and so I apologize that the screen's a little bit small, but I will include links to his page, and you can also just go to oclakeside.com. So yep, I know that, Ken, and I apologize. All right, so again, using video and embedding that video into this page is great. Now let's see what he's done with this video. Let's go to YouTube and see how he has, quote unquote, optimized.
For just $67, you can make as many videos as you want, and you never need to pick up a camera or use any fancy editing software.
So you'll see he has created a nice little video. It's all about this lovely community that he does business in, and he also lives there, and he also fishes there. So he has done this great video, and he has, quote unquote, optimized the video. So he has SEO'd the video, right? So in the video, the title is Lakeside Buena Park Community. Down in here, he has some more information about Lakeside and things that are going on in Lakeside. What Lake provides excellent fishing for largemouth bass. He knows all the fish, of course. So he's got all these text in here that supports this page, right? So everything is talking about Lakeside. So that's literally why his page comes up in the search results here. So that's what I would call SEO for a community within a city. And so he's done that very, very effectively. So let me get back to my little graphic here. Oh, lovely. All right, you guys can see my screen, right? Sorry for the issues today. Zoom's having a little day. So that was all of the, going over things like, the city pages, community pages. Those are really, really important, right? So another really good thing to do for search engine optimization is to collect reviews on third-party sites. So that really helps. That helps your overall digital footprint, so that when people do a search for you, really nice things to say come up when people are searching for you. So that's a really, really important one. And then what I alluded to earlier is to fill out as many, and this is off-page SEO, fill out as many business directories as possible that talk about, your business, your realtor, all those things. And so I'll include this link in the replay. So a couple different little stats here. So first of all, 90% of home buyers use the internet. That's duh. 44% of home buyers go to the internet first to start a home search. Also duh. But 60% of those will click on the top 3 results. So that shows you how important being at the top of these search results is. Super, super important. There are, of course, there are those 40% of other people that will end up, drilling down and clicking on a result that's, further down the page. A couple little SEO basics that I want you guys to just keep in mind is use the keyword in the title of your page. Also in the menu header of the website itself. Also use the key, if you're doing real search engine optimization for a page, you want to include as much written content as humanly possible. Okay, so that means just naturally flowing words and information about your community or about you, right? And you want 3% of those words to be the keyword that you're trying to optimize the page for. So if you're trying to optimize a page for homes for sale in Lakeside, then literally 3% of the content on the page should have that keyword in it. Not more and not less. It's a real specific number, okay? And you want to use variations of the keyword, not just homes for sale, listings in Lakeside, homes, for sale, just any variation of homes for sale, so not the same thing over and over and over. That does not work. So you also want to make sure that your title in your images, every image file should have, if you're displaying images on a website, the image title should have the keyword in it. It's a really fun and easy SEO hack is to make sure that your images have that nice, what they call alt tag. And so the search engines, they look for those alt tags because the search engine doesn't know what a picture is. They can't determine what the pixels and what they're looking at. There's some pretty heavy AI coming out that does that, but in general, the search engines, they look for the keywords in things like the image title, right? So those are the kinds of things that you really want to be doing with your with all of the pages within your website. And this is really, this is some nitpicky stuff, but if you're really serious about this business, you want to establish your website to not only be a resource for your clients, but also be picked up by Google. And so we do a lot of things that on our websites that we do for our clients. We do a lot of things on our websites also that are just for Google and are signals for Google to make sure that Google knows that our website is relevant for what our clients are looking for, right? So another tip is to focus on long-tailed keywords. I kind of alluded to this earlier. So a long-tailed keyword is exactly like what we discussed. Homes for sale, Lakeside, Buena Park. It's a lot of different words, right? But it is very specific to what that person's looking for. Homes for sale, way too broad, right? That they could be looking for homes in, Timbuktu. Homes for sale, Buena Park, still maybe a little bit too broad. But somebody that really knows where they want to live, and a lot of people, they do know the community that they want to look for, especially if they're living in, a city and they know of an adjacent community that they want to live in, right? They were like, oh, I want to go live in the, the OC in Lakeside, that nice gated community with the lake, right? So a lot of times you're going to have less traffic, but very, very targeted traffic. So that's the big thing that I just want you guys to take away from today is, we don't need to try to dominate these search terms that have thousands and millions of searches, because first of all, the competition's too intense. And second, you're going to be getting way too many looky-loos and not people that are really focused in on exactly what you have to offer. So Bill, that is kind of the gist of the presentation today. Any big takeaways for you?
Just going through this with you again, I think the micro community is the angle. I know you've talked about that a lot, but maybe some of the newer agents are hearing about this for the first time. Whether you're in a large city that has all these micro communities, with hundreds if not thousands of homes, it really seems like it's the way to go. It's the only way you're going to compete with the big aggregate information holders and money, the big pockets of Zillow and Redfin, right?
Yeah.
If you want to target a specific neighborhood or maybe a specific school district coverage, I think that's the angle, right?
100%. Yeah. So, again, you're up against too much for trying to go, try to dominate Los Angeles real estate. So let's focus on stuff that we can actually attain, right?
Well, yeah, and it makes sense, right? Because they are going for the broader the broader net, but the people that know where they want to move and they've been looking and maybe they're eyeing a certain neighborhood for a long time, they're going to be typing in that more narrow targeted, geographic area. And that's where you can win against the big guys.
Big time. So, if you have questions about that, don't hesitate to call me and let me know. And I can, guide you on what specifically you should be doing in your niche and in your neck of the woods, right? So anything else, Bill?
I think that's about it. I just want to thank everybody who's open an escrow with Raquel. Really appreciate everybody doing that, and we encourage everybody else to give Raquel a try. She's been doing a fantastic job. I'm actually going to go meet her this afternoon, so out at the office out there. And as I've been just kind of preaching recently, it's costs are going up, everything's going up across life and this industry, and it's not going to get there's not going to be a lot of relief in the near future, I don't think. So we do encourage you guys to reach out and use Cameron and use Raquel if you can. We really appreciate it. Helps us keep your costs down. We're committed to doing that for you guys and keeping this price structure in place. But in return, we hope that you guys understand too that all the costs are rising for us. So any reciprocation is greatly appreciated, and we can all win and not have to. We can all thrive in this environment.
100%. Yeah, we don't want to raise rates, and that's kind of our commitment to you guys. And so we just ask that you use our additional services. So guys, great meeting today. Again, if you have questions about SEO, I know it's a really broad topic and we kind of flew through it, but don't hesitate to reach out to me, and get out there, make it a great day, a great week, and we'll see you guys next week on the webinar. Bye-bye.